Ladies and gentlemen, I've been having a horrible day, but I got good news. Bonnie Blue's downfall is finally here. And from what I've heard, she's gonna go to jail for like 10 to 20 years because she went on her bang bus tour, that's fucking disgusting, in Indonesia, the biggest Muslim country, and we all know how Muslims are way less tolerant on dirty, disgusting shit like this, okay?
It's a unbelievable day for everybody with a soul. Bonnie Blue has finally been arrested, and this time it's not a stunt.
Controversial content creator Bonnie Blue has been detained by police in Bali over alleged pornographic activities.
Up until this point, she'd been on a global bang bus tour. Not words I thought I'd ever...
Global bang, but how did she think that that's a great idea, and somehow she's gonna go through all of the countries? Like, maybe you can go through some of the Western countries and you can, then pass by and not end up in jail somehow. I don't know, like the US, Canada, the UK, yeah. But in Muslim countries, like in Indonesia, I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's no way most people that went on that bang bus tour in Bali were actual Indonesians. Most people were just people who work remotely or for themselves and are there to, live cheaper.
Ever say, but that's where we're at. She hit the UK first, not a good time for anyone really, but then she did quickly move on. She actually shipped the bus down to Australia, which is a crazy move. Even allegedly dropped in on Epstein's Island too, but I don't have any visual proof of that one, so we'll keep it moving. She then made her biggest mistake yet though. She went to Bali, which is technically in Indonesia.
The controversial OnlyFans creator announced her arrival last week.
Hey boys, those that are going to schoolies and to those that are barely legal, cannot wait to meet you. And
how do people from the government see this and think, yeah, you know what? This video from this woman who somehow came with this bang bus tour in Indonesia, in our country, yeah, we can leave this. We can imagine if a man said this. Okay, it doesn't matter which country it was. Imagine if a man said this. Hey girls, to anybody who's barely an adult, come to my... Imagine somebody said that shit and was a man.
You know exactly what that means.
What it means is that the laws there are slightly different to where she's been before. Her team might be slacking because I don't know how she didn't catch this. But her full-time job is actually banned in Indonesia. And those that are found guilty of violating that law face severe penalties, including...
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised how this job isn't banned in like most places in the world.
Fines and jail. They're calling it a crime against morality. And you know what? That's actually what we've been saying the whole time. And it's not even just her, they got bagged for this either. Seems like the police uncovered a whole conspiracy.
Many of those men were seen leaving the police station, covering their faces, but also filming as well. A 20.
Imagine being this fucking desperate to, F a woman who's like, she's pretty average in the body. She's nothing really crazy. She's okay, but and you're risking yourself being seen online on TV. You might go on YouTube, go viral, and one day your daughter, your son might see you like this. That's not a great move, my guy.
Remains in custody along with two British men and Bonnie Blue.
Could genuinely be the worst post-night clarity moment of all time. Get arrested in Bonnie Blue's compound and then being marched out. Now, as that clip said, by the way, these guys did actually get released. Bonnie Blue hasn't though, and what seems to be like a manager or something. Looks like they're still in custody, and details of the case are starting to drop now too. Along with several cameras, police seized 19 outfits labelled School Bonnie Blue. They also found a box of condoms, lubricant, 9 pink necklaces, flash drives, and who knows what's on them. And then finally 2 sheets of Viagra. Some used. That can't be good. Now, obviously, the men that did get arrested were unidentified in the press. I think I've actually found them though, because Bonnie Blue has been posting in Bali for about a week.
What's some words of inspiration for all the girls out there?
Yeah, see the way this guy is speaking. He's speaking like Australian or British, right? English. That somebody who's from Indonesia, who's a local, doesn't look like this and doesn't speak English like this. Okay, I've worked with freelancers from Indonesia. Okay, trust me, I was right.
I like that.
Now, well, I was going to take the piss, but I do actually now feel bad for this guy. He's touched her there, clearly, so he's lost about 7 years of his life there. And it wasn't even just him either, because she was just driving around. And by the looks of it, genuinely just sticking people in the back of the bus.
So I walked. Lads, we're in the
Bonnie Blue bring us?
Wait, is that a cop? Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Now, if you are willingly getting in the back of Bonnie Blue's bang bus, then an arrest might actually be the best case scenario for you. And who knows what happened to this guy, but it can't have been good. It can't have been good.
So before you're gonna go on your business journey, because of let's just call it that business journey for Bonnie, right? Can't you just do some fucking research? This woman has millions, you know, from OnlyFans, from like corn, from like this stuff. If you're too lazy to like do some research and you've got this kind of money and fame, I don't know, fucking pay somebody to do it for you, okay? You know, contact people, you know, that have studied law in Indonesia that are maybe your fans. Holy shit, that sounds fucking crazy and disgusting, but you know what I mean.
Best part of this, though, without a doubt, is that this video did reveal she has Bali belly. And I should have been, but I weren't ready for the comments. I don't care. She's still cracking. We're cooked. We are so cooked. But really, that shouldn't be a shock, because just about everybody in Bali around Bonnie Blue, they might be cooked too.
Look at these. How many of these are actual Indonesians, okay? You be the judge. How many of these, by the way they look, by the way they sound, their English accent, right? How many do you think are these actual locals? There's no way. 99% of them? No.
Outside of this hellscape, though, reactions to Bonnie Blue, they've been pretty different, actually. A lot of people were celebrating, and actually, given everything we've seen over the last year, well, you can't really blame them, really, because this might be a win. On the other hand, though, some people, they might have taken it a little bit too far. I actually think the authorities have already tried this. Unfortunately, Bonnie Blue is
listen, in my country, that's not the case, but I wouldn't be mad if somebody goes to a foreign country, drastically different mentality, drastically different culture, religion, everything. You don't do your fucking research on what's legal and what's not legal, and you go and do this crazy shit over there, okay? Spray your fucking viruses and bacteria all over the country? Hell nah. And you know what? I wouldn't be mad, you know, if they say death penalty. No, do I wish death on her? No, it's. I don't think it's. Most people that go on her tours and do all this stuff, they'll do it because they want to do it. In case she's not forcing anybody, but still, I don't think it's for a death penalty. But you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case in Indonesia. Probably not.
Realm. She is actually immortal, so the best we have is the law. And I think that's probably the most reasonable response. I hope she feels the full force of the law. Well, it was at least reasonable until I clicked on this guy's profile. Turns out, in the end, he actually might have ulterior motives.
Right, so I'm here at Lincoln Uni now. I'm not even buzzing. Mum's life, I'm not buzzing. I've come here to see Bonnie Blue and she's not turned up. So I've come 40 mile from where I live, and she's not turned up. And this is the second time she's done this. It's happened before, and it's happened again.
And actually, I was
oh my god, you need to get a life, you need to get a job, find a girlfriend, you know, maybe go to the gym, just do something with your fucking life. You're driving 40 miles for a second time? What is wrong with you? If there's people who watch my videos and you guys do this stuff, like you try and drive miles and miles to see a corn star or an OnlyFans star, whatever you want to call them, you guys need mental health, okay? You need good friends and some good family members to maybe, you know, knock some sense into you.
Take the piss again, but you know what? If I was in this position, I'd probably be pissed off too. I'll save it for Bonnie Blue, because I've done a little bit of digging under the surface. Turns out karma might actually be real.
Lucky for me, these core rules in Bali, and you don't even need a driving license. I do actually have one. Oh, wait, what is this bit for?
This video was recorded days ago. Like, you can't write this stuff. And maybe the funniest detail, by the way, is that she's had some extra charges tagged on. And they are actually to do with the bang bus. Well, it's not a bus, it's more like a van, maybe. The point is, she has tempted fate. According to government documents, the vehicle is registered as being white, but has been repainted dark blue. The vehicle's tax also expired in 2023, and I think that might actually be a worse crime yet. They're begging it a little bit here.
Then how didn't even the, you know, government and authorities from the UK not already catch up on her, you know, expired lease for her car and shit? Like, what is happening? Well, how is this possible?
But if a vehicle colour does not match up with its STNK, it can result in a fine of up to $46 or 2 months in prison. I know what I'm picking. And listen, if Bonnie Blue goes away for painting a bang bus blue, I mean, honestly, that could be the funniest thing of all time.
Yeah, I mean, if I get sent to prison, I want to identify as a male, so I can do gangbangs all the time. Put me in a male prison any day.
I mean, if you want.
No, listen, okay? I said what I said. Some people are just, minus the society. They just, I don't know, maybe she should be in some kind of a mental asylum for the rest of her life. Just make sure she's, alone. Or maybe a few hours in a day with workers working in the mines. Yeah, I can see that. She's gonna, contribute to society way more if that's what we do with people like this. Now again, there's people who've done much worse stuff. Like everybody who is, going to bank her is all doing it because they want to. But from everything that I've seen, a lot of the stuff that she's been saying, it might be just to, get some publicity, some, free marketing, and some rage bait, because even people hating you and, talking about you online is still marketing. Okay, there's no good or bad marketing for this woman. Okay, marketing is marketing. If she can find one more person at the bank and maybe pay her just because that guy heard some other guy who hated her and talked about her, that's a win for her.
I think we should respect her choices. I will say on the other hand, though, that nothing ever happened, so the chances of her going to prison are pretty low. Having said that, though, some people that actually live in Bali have disagreed with that. Now, I will say it's off Reddit, so take it with a pinch of salt. He said, with how politics is going out here right now, there is a pretty big chance she won't be getting out anytime soon. The government loves when a foreigner breaks a law, as they like to make examples of them. There are many foreigners sitting in whatever that is right now, with no definitive conviction or release date. Indonesia is highly conservative and has been begging for a chance to blame foreign influence on poor morals.
This is exactly what I said. Like, Indonesia is the biggest, most populated Muslim country in the world. Like, people usually that are way more religious are way more conservative. What the actual flying fuck was going through her brain thinking that this is a great idea, and also making a public statement online saying, hey, if anyone's barely a fucking adult, come have some fun.
Well, I'll be real, Indonesia, if you're watching, she might be the best example you could ever make.
This month I've just had a Bonnie Blue bang bus made.
Are there any legal ramifications about that?
No.
Well, maybe.
I mean, my family.
Imagine you must have taught.
Yeah, the way she's speaking, it's pretty obvious she does not know if that's legal, and she hasn't done her research, or at least ask a lawyer or something.
A law team for this?
Not really, no. Like, you're having, as long as I can park up. I mean, people have sex in the car, don't they?
Not convinced that's legal.
I thought she was smarter than this, man. Legal, I am almost disappointed. Almost. It's even made crazy by the fact that on this podcast, she was explicitly told to get the legal stuff checked.
I would get someone to check that first. I do think a strong legal counsel might be a good idea. Just, well, my point being that, fucking hell.
I have people check things over like before we do it as well. Because I understand I like to reach limits. So I've got to fully understand where that limit is. Because everyone wants...
if you want to reach limits, you can reach them in jail as well. Sure, fine. Hell yeah.
To arrest me. Everyone.
Not the
police.
Well, this aged well. It aged well. And at this point, who knows what's going to happen? I don't even know if she has anyone left to bail her out. The obvious one would be her husband, who's going to become her ex-husband soon, but for some reason it hasn't happened. Turns out, though, according to some other articles, she might have burned that bridge as well. Why? I can't wait for my son to divorce Bonnie Blue. She controlled, manipulated, and humiliated him. How dare she refuse to give any of her 34 million fortune? All right, with that figure in mind, I think she might be all right, to be fair. And I think at this point in the video, the only person in prison is going to be this guy. It's a mental prison, but it still counts. I actually found some footage, and it's...
I mean, hey, you know what? Maybe this guy just did it for the money, just to, like, eventually come out and say, you know what? I'll be made fun of my whole life for marrying this woman, but hey, I'll have, half of her, what it was like 15, 17 million? Hell yeah.
It's a lot worse than I thought.
She really connects with the fans. Most people, if they do, they seem out of reach, and you're never going to meet them. You're never going to be able to film with them. Whereas Bonnie doing her, she puts a location online, and then obviously her fans can actually film with them.
Yeah, I'll be real, man. I don't think anybody needs her to go to prison more than him. He needs to be freed from these mental shackles, because this is a hard watch.
Nothing's really changed it until this point, so it's like a defining moment in
And I'm actually getting live updates as I make this video. Turns out, in the end, somebody actually snitched. Her and her team have been handed over to immigration as well. To be honest, if I had to place my bets, I would say they're just going to get deported. And to be honest, that does sound kind of underwhelming, but who knows, who knows. Her passport as well has been confiscated, so I guess she is locked in until that verdict is made. So yeah, man, we're going to see what happens over the next couple of days, I guess. Like and sub.
I mean, listen, I've heard of cases of guys dating OnlyFans women, but, you know, being a guy who's okay with dating and marrying this kind of woman, and, you know, yes, I don't think she's gonna have a very far future. He's gonna have a very, you know, long future with her. But hey, maybe he doesn't care about, you know, him being made fun of. Maybe he doesn't, maybe he actually loves her, which, if that's the case, I feel fucking sad for him a lot. Actually, I shouldn't. He's a grown adult. He did this to himself. But if I'm being honest, I'd be very, very disappointing if she just doesn't get arrested and doesn't go to jail. Like, if she's gonna get deported to the UK, like, at least now the UK knows the type of shit she has done in Indonesia, illegal shit, and also knows that, you know, everything with her car, you know, expired license and all this stuff, whatever it was. The guy mentioned that only for that you can go to 2 months in jail or pay I don't know how much in fines. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day.